And we are back with week number 4 of the Women's Carball Championship Season 2. It's Hunted here with Sleegy and Tamashi, and we've got the Queen Cobras and Sammie Smiles first on the docket for us here tonight. Again, Queen Cobras trying to stay undefeated. The Sammie Smiles kind of in the opposite position, still looking for that first win of the season. And I mean, again, we've kind of talked this series to death earlier on, but you look at the lineup for Queen Cobras and Sammie Smiles, and hopefully the two of you can fill me in. I'm not in the server, so I can't really see who joins for the Sammie Smiles if they're in there yet. But again, I think this is going to be a pretty tough match for Sammie Smiles, but you never know. So I mean, it's Rocket League; anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it really could, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening here once we're able to get underway, because this is one of those games I always love watching the Queen Cobras play, and if Sammie Smiles are really able to step it up and bring it, I think this could be a really entertaining match, personally.
Yeah, me too. I think that the Sammie Smiles have been so close in so many of their matches as well that really it has come down to just pulling out an extra game win or two here and there that they could have, been in a quite different situation here heading into week number 4. But either way, I mean, you're playing against the Queen Cobras. That's got to be at least a little bit daunting, Tamashi.
It certainly is. I like the form that the Cobras are on at the moment. It's always going to be intimidating, especially at this kind of stage in the league. But I feel like all Sammie Smiles need is that little bit more consistency on their side. They're able to take some of these sets pretty close, it must be said. And whilst they have lost, they have the confidence knowing that they can absolutely take it to them. And they'll come out swinging. I think they'll definitely scare Cobras a fair bit, but once Cobras start bolting down, and that wall is just relentless from them. So we'll see what they can do. But Cobras are going to be a hard one to pop.
Well, I'm so very excited to see how things play out here. I'm going to go ahead, throw it on over to you all. I hope that you have a good time with our first series of the afternoon. Again, it's Queen Cobras taking on the Sammie Smiles. Take it away.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I know we're both been looking forward to it, but I'm excited personally just to go ahead and get down on the field and see how it rolls.
Oh, absolutely. And we're just waiting for everybody to join on in. Just waiting for the teams to come up. And here we go. We're going to have who we got on the left side. We got Chloe, Layla, Vix versus Emmy for sure, and Ravina. And our first match is on the way.
That it is, and it's going to start with immediate possession from Ravina. Over to Fusier, back to this corner. Layla gets a good block and a send downfield. Possession changes now in favor of Sammie Smiles as they try and get something set up in the corner. The Ravina, she takes back control, right side. Good block coming through. It's a good hit off the backward. Fusier not going to challenge that. It's the last one back. And early start here, we've seen a little bit of speed coming from both sides, and it feels like both teams right now not really making any mistakes as of yet.
No, not yet. Emmy gets the goal on target, but it's going to get saved pretty quickly, although that one is just deflected onto the crossbar. Very last second saving shenanigans going on immediately. But Layla is going to try and pop that forward, but Chloe in the goal already, ready for Fusier's immediate attack. Ravina going to keep this threat very much alive. It's going to get thwarted for the time being, and as the first minute ticks on by, this is going to be a good chance for Layla to get the score going.
And that's an excellent start here for Sammie Smiles. They combine together great. Ravina just has a lot of speed, but not enough to make it back in time. That final hit from Layla, dropping it right where it needed to be. And so we see the lead early on in this game and series, starting off in the corner of Sammie Smiles. But again, like we were saying, both of these teams playing outstanding right now. Shots and saves equally coming in from both sides. So I think we're going to see this stay competitive.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that it's Sammie Smiles who get the first goal are definitely going to throw Cobras a little bit on a different side of things now. I think they're not used to having to go down quite so early on. But this is the Cobras we're talking about. They're going to see flashes of this, trying to pop that in the goal, but finally Vix does get the clearance, and now you just see pretty much everyone of Cobras getting a bit in the way of each other there, but finally gets it back into somewhat of an attacking situation, although it is going to get pinned straight back to the halfway mark.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing out of this Sammie Smiles team is they're doing a really good job at applying consistent pressure. They're not letting the ball spend too much time by itself. And the speed coming out of it is really why these opportunities are opening up. Chloe, she was almost able to find the way around there, just wasn't quite able to wrap around. But right now, they are just keeping the Queen Cobras on their toes. And I think that is a lot of what's preventing the Queen Cobras from setting up sort of passing opportunities down the field.
Yeah, you notice Ravina, every single time she's going for one of those balls, it's just not quite lining up for her. Either it's because it's just a little bit too far into the corner, or they've already got it clearance, and a very crucial touch there from Chloe. If Chloe didn't make that touch, that was going in, and the same goes for that one with Layla, but it finally concedes.
What a cut from Ravina here as well. Just an excellent follow-through from Fuser to send it in mid, and then Ravina with the back across goal, just across her car to get it through. So difficult to read those. Chloe came close, but it just wasn't quite enough. And right at the halfway point, it's going to be the Queen Cobras getting back level.
Yeah, and it certainly took some time doing so, and sometimes it just comes down to being in the right place at the right time. Ravina was just unmarked, and there was only one way that ball was going to go. That was 2 demos there that just happened. Already an explosive start, and this is just the first match of the set. Layla can't unfortunately get the second touch she desired, and it's going to get put straight back on Eva's. It's almost like it's staying in Ejidova's half for just a couple seconds. And it just very rarely seems to go into a full-on aggressive play on both sides. Another demo going to send Layla back, and Ravina going to try and take this chance.
It was almost a really good setup as well. Fuser was there. Ravina really worked hard to get that ball even in that position. She's been all over the field up to this point, just trying to make plays happen, and it's been working. Fuser and Emmy both doing a fantastic job of being in the positions they need to. And as the final 90 seconds starts counting down here, it's really going to be who makes the first mistake that could potentially decide this game.
It really could. Or if these two just have a stalemate for the next minute and 10 seconds, we might see the first match of the stream go to overtime, which you would just love to see if that is end up being the case. But that ball is dangerously close to going in and somehow makes it in.
And that is a beautiful shot. The control, the precision, triple rebound off the backboard, and Fuser able to send Queen Cobras into the lead.
1-0 down to a 2-1 lead right on the cusp of 1 minute to go. Just goes to show you anything can happen in this wonderful game, and like you said, the triple rebound from Fuser is just unbelievable, and she's going to go up again for this. Not going to quite get the touch they were looking for, but it's going to keep this threat alive. He pops that on target, but it's just going to get saved in the nick of time. Fuser is going to come and chase this straight into the corner. Chloe won't get to it in time. This will be a good setup. Will anybody come for it? Oh, this is an open field if someone can get it, but no. It is going to get just about stopped with 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds, still a lot of time as well for Sammie Smiles to try and find their way back in this game. They've just got to try and get back control. They've been spending a load of just time here on defense. Off the post, the follow-up from Layla to clear it away. Comes short, but they get away with one there. They could potentially combine for a play. It's off the backboard, and that could have easily been a goal to send them into overtime, but it looks like the Queen Cobras are going to take game number 1.
It looks like it, but it's not over until it hits the floor, and Chloe is going to try and meet this and keep this ball alive, but that's going to drop awkwardly, and it is finally going to go the way of Queen Cobras. Very, very close match from start to finish. The Cobras just about taking it in the last minute.
Yeah, and you know, Sammie Smiles, they got that early goal. It built them momentum, and they really did a good job of holding on to that momentum throughout the whole game, and especially right there at the end, within those final couple of moments, they had a really good opportunity to send it through in on goal. It comes up just short, but a solid game 1, and I'm excited to see if they can continue that through into game 2.
I certainly hope so as well. I mean, you see, again, Sammie Smiles with a lot of saves on their side. And even though they had significantly less shots than the Cobras, the fact that they were able to get that first goal very early on, it put that pressure on Cobras. thinking if I could see them doing that again, maybe be a little bit more aggressive this time around. You never know, Sammie Smiles might be able to take the initiative.
Well, they might, but we'll have to see. 5 minutes on the board, zeros on the scoreline. As we get underway with game number 2, Queen Cobras off to a 1-0 lead in the series, and they try and make it a 1-0 lead in the game, and they do with an excellent shot there.
10 seconds, it's one of those classic Queen Cobra starts, as it just comes wide to Emmy, and no one was saving that. And wow, 1-0 up after 10 seconds. The start that any team would love.
Absolutely. Well, it's just a matter of them holding on to it now. Sammie Smiles have shown that they have the power and capability to get back into these games. And as they hold on to possession right now, they might be able to do just that. Oh my goodness, what a save from Fuchsia right there on the goal line to prevent that from equalizing.
Yeah, for sure, with a great save, and Layla is going to pop that straight back into their half for sure. Needs to correct themselves a little bit, and the demo comes up. That's not going to help Sammie Smiles at all. It was Chloe that got taken out, and this ball is going to get played very aggressively here. Ravina dribbles all the way through, and what a play!
And this is why Ravina is such a well-known name. The fake around one, control, and then power. All three combined into one play, and she doubles their lead in this game.
And that's just in the first 45 seconds of the match. Sammie Smiles are going to have to do something quite special if they want to put the pressure back onto the Cobras. And Chloe's going to do exactly that. Hit it into the corner, tries to keep this thread alive. But unfortunately, it's going to lose out to Ravina, who's going to send that all the way to the goal again.
That's just clean. Just a clean takeoff, touch, hit, and then final bit of hit to push it through. What a goal.
So, 1 minute played. We've got 4 minutes left of this, and Queen Cobras have a 3-0 lead. What else could possibly go wrong?
I mean, with this much time, there's a lot, and I really hope that Sammie Smiles are able to start trying to get some momentum back in their way, because they looked so solid in that game one, and they really haven't looked bad here either. They've had good plays. It's just been incredible solo efforts coming out of this Queen Cobra team so far that Sammie Smiles just hasn't been able to get around to try and block.
Yeah, it's like every single time they go for a push, somebody from the Cobras is there waiting for them. And it doesn't help when you have players like Ravina who's just like, yep, I could just take this on my own if I need to. But that shot, just a little bit above the bar. That's going to hit the bar for a second time from Vix. And unfortunately, nobody was there for the follow-up, and later having to quickly backtrack to try and make a save. And thankfully, that one a little bit wide. This danger is still alive, and it's Ravina again.
Well, I mean, after 4 balls hitting off the woodwork on both sides combined, finally Ravina just able to get a soft enough touch to drop that in right underneath the crossbar. A 4-0 game, 3 minutes. It's not looking good for Sammie Smiles in game 2, but there is still time for them to try and turn this around.
It's like if they can get at least something on the board, they'll take it. But Ravina trying to go for more and actually inadvertently sets up for a little bit of a rebound, but it is going to go all the way back onto their half. And where is this going to go? No one's in goal! Oh no, you can't be doing that!
Just surgical precision here. Ravina understands to play in under a second, goes up and just gets the touch. She knows she doesn't need power. All she needs is accuracy. She's able to read the defensive posture and take advantage of it with immaculate beauty, and it puts them up by 5. Ravina really finding her stride here in game 2.
Yeah, like Ravina probably wants to go for like a double hat trick at this point, but it is going to set up for sure. And that is going to just dip just beautifully enough. And Fisher's got yet another goal on the scorecard.
And she's been really good at these double hits off of the backboard, just lining them up, knowing where she needs to place it. 6-0 now, and at this point, the Queen Cobras just feels like they're playing to increase those sweet, sweet stats.
They certainly are. They're probably going to try and get that goal to double digits. And what in the world was that?
Oh my goodness, a pre-flip from Fuchsia across field, off the bar and in. That was insane.
To quote the Champions Field commentator, what a play! That was unbelievable. And Vix are going to try and keep this ball alive and at least try and get something on the board. Emmy is going to get demoed because why not at this point? I mean, Cobras are just looking to try and have a clean sheet, but never mind that. I think they're definitely going to try and go for double digits at this point. And with plays like that, oh, finally the breakthrough. It is not a clean sheet. Layla gets the goal.
Yeah, and this is just an extremely well-placed shot from around the midfield of the orange half. Just hits it off the crossbar, finally using that woodwork to their advantage to grab one back. And with 2 minutes and 10 seconds, it would be pretty improbable, especially with how well that Queen Cobras have been playing. But, you know, I do want to say there is still the prospect of a comeback here with this amount of time left.
If 6 goals go in now, my goodness me, I mean, that would be quite an upset in and of itself if it happens. That was dicing for it, wasn't it? You were just waiting for the commentator's curse to strike, but no goal just yet. The pressure is still very much alive for them. It's almost like they've got a renewed chance, and it's an amazing shot off the post and in.
Just, again, just precision. All that they need. Layla, what a beautiful angle off that hit. Is able to take advantage of the only degree of angle that she had available to her, and it makes it a 7-2 game with 1:40 to go.
Oh, that ball is dipping a little bit too close there. Ravina going to set that up. Is anybody going to get the poke as it drops awkwardly on the backboard? But no one's going to get that goal just yet. Ravina not going to get to it in time. And suddenly, Sammie Smiles are coming alive in this second match. It's 7-2. They still have 5 goals to get and 1 minute and 20 on the board. But this is a renewed sense of pressure. It's almost like they're showing the Cobras, hey, we can totally fight with you. Yes, we're not having a great match on this occasion, but we'll take it to you in Game 3 if we can keep this up.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the important things and why it's so critical that they continue to try and put pressure and shots down the field is if you can build really solid momentum here at the end of this game, even if you're not able to come away with a victory, you set yourselves up for success in that Game 3. Another shot coming in as I say that as well from Chloe, and that does feel like exactly what they're trying to do, set up for Game 3.
They certainly are, and that's a nice little poke. No one was going to get to that in time. 47's on the clock. It's 7-3. It's not out of the question that someone could score a goal every 10 seconds. It's very unlikely, but this is a lot of momentum that Sammie Smiles are pulling in right now.
It really is, and they're setting up plays together, and you know, if they had just been able to find this earlier on in the match, maybe around the 3-minute mark, I really feel like it could have been a completely different game, because when Sammie Smiles turns it on, I mean, it is on. And they're playing really fast right now. They're utilizing space. They're passing to each other. And it's just working for them. That shot gets blocked. It's going to end up in a goal. But if anything, it was just an unfortunate block coming through from a really well-placed defender.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to get the poke on that. And unfortunately, pretty much, well, at this kind of stage, you know, of course, Sammie Smiles are going to fully commit and not have anybody out in the back. So the goal was going to happen as second they broke through. But again, I don't think Sammie Smiles have nothing to be disappointed about. They've came at this with a right sort of mindset that, sure, we conceded 7 goals, but we've scored 3 of our own. And we're going to definitely take this fight into the third match and maybe try and see us through into match 4 or maybe even a 5. But Cobras will coast through in the end with 8 goals to 3.
And, you know, speaking of fight, that is really the best word leading into this Game 3. Sammie Smiles, they're going to be backs against the wall here. They're out of chances. They're out of the ability to sort of have things not go their way. If they're not able to come through with a win here, this series is over. And I would hate that for them, because they truly, truly have been playing an excellent brand of Rocket League in this series. I mean, we saw the Queen Cobras early on in this game able to take away control and make this game their own. But as soon as Sammie Smiles woke up and started to really make solid pressure down the field, they were a force to be reckoned with.
They certainly were. I mean, you see the shots. They actually had a really good amount of shots between the lot of them, you know, 2, 3, and 1. Obviously, Queen Cobras having the most shots all around. I mean, of course they did. They scored the most goals, but like I said, that momentum just started to shift. It's almost like Queen Cobras were like, okay, we've got this in the bag, kind of like we can relax it a little bit, but they were still putting on that pressure. So for Sammie Smiles, if they can start out the way they finished, this will be a lot closer, although Ravina's trying to go for the plays immediately. You do not want to be conceding in the first 10 seconds, but it looks like it's just a little wide this time.
Ravina just not wasting any time early here in this game, looking to try and secure a 3-0 sweep here on Neo Tokyo. But 30 seconds into this game, Sammie Smiles able to contain control and prevent the offense of Queen Cobra's win possible. Just a matter of keeping that up. A delayed touch there from Layla. She was looking to try and fake out the defenders. Follow-up shot has to get saved by Fashur. And, you know, we're seeing solid pressure coming out of Sammie Smiles right now.
Yeah, I feel like that was a bit unfortunate from Sammie Smiles. If they'd have gotten a little touch there, they might have been able to convert that into a goal, but unfortunately not to be on this occasion. Emmy thought about going for that ball, but realizes they had to quickly double back there because that ball was coming in very quick. Chloe not going to get to that. Surely that's in. No, it's not. It's on the goal line and somehow kept out.
Just the slightest touch from Ravina there, but it ends up being just enough. And they're able to keep that one out. Excellent positioning from her there to cover an entire goal from what was realistically 2 attacking players. And a minute and a half into this game, we still rage on at 0-0.
Yeah, we certainly do. And Layla will be able to clear that into the corner. Ravina will challenge it, but I don't think they actually got there in time. Just going to wait on the wall for a little while, and now we'll set them up. Their teammate, Emmy, heads it in towards Fusha, but can't get a touch to it. Can't convert it into that goal just yet as it hops on back down into the orange side of things. Ravina goes for their usual aerial shenanigans, but going to get deflected on this occasion. Is anyone coming in for the follow-up? Yes, they are, but it's saved by Layla.
And that was Fusha again looking for one of those double touches off the backboard. It's been something we've seen a lot from her this game, and she's been clinical about finishing them. But I feel like at this point, Sammie Smiles has started to recognize that and expect it, and that block is indicative of how they're adapting to the series of play in this game. And, you know, hopefully they can turn that into possession down the field. The score was an opportunity for Layla there, but just not able to get it through and on target.
No, unfortunately not, and it was just a little too wide for it to be picked up by a teammate. Ball immediately going to find its way to Layla. This could be a goal scoring opportunity, and it is! What a touch by Layla, and it gives Sammie Smiles the lead.
Yeah, right after the halfway point. It's just a booming clear all the way downfield on target. No one from Queen Cobra is able to get back in time. And so that's going to be Sammie Smiles able to get the opening goal here in a critical game 3.
It certainly is, and they did this in the first game and then lost 2-1, so it's crucial that they keep on top of their defensive plays at this point. They've made so many saves already, but they're also pushing for that second goal, and that would have been crucial if they could have scored that. Layla guiding it into the right corner. Going to take this up the back. Will anybody be there for the initiative? Chloe just about missed it, and Vix couldn't get there in time.
We're going to see Queen Cobra is trying to move it down the field now as well after surviving that attack, although they're not quite out of the woodwork just yet. They're still having to withstand attacking opportunities coming from Sammie Smiles. That was an opportunity for Layla. Ravina takes control, though. Has got some open space to work with off the back wall. Still right there in front. But Emmy and Fusha both not really expecting that sort of bounce, not in a position to really take advantage of it. Does that have to drop? Oh my goodness, it did. It was just slightly off. Wow.
Somehow that ball, it's almost like it goes in slow motion when you see it goes towards the goal. It's like, is that going to go in? Is it not? Did it lose momentum on the bar? In either case, it did not go in for Queen Cobras. They've got a minute and 10 seconds to try and find an equalizer and maybe force an overtime. Can Sammie Smiles crucially hang on to this and take us into match 4?
Well, they've got to survive 60 more seconds in order to see a game 4. They're doing a good job of it right now, but this attacking opportunity for Queen Cobras could be deadly. Emmy sneaking her way by, able to take advantage of the positioning of that defender and slide it in off the post.
Yeah, I think it came off Chloe in the end. Yeah, it came off Chloe and straight into Emmy. Right place, right time. They had to commit to that aggressive play. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, it's all square.
Well, final minute We've got a tie game 1-all. And now this is where things get interesting. This is popped into this corner, and we'll see who's going to be able to come out on top of this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Sammie Smiles, you do not want to be facing down the barrel of another 2-1 loss. It would hurt. That ball's going to go completely backwards for sure. Thinking about going for it, does challenge it, keeps it alive, passes it into Ravina, who takes it into the corner. 20 seconds on the clock. Don't think that'll drop to anyone in time, but Emmy will keep this pressure alive off the corner. That's going to drop dangerously. Layla has to clear it. Ravina comes in with yet another attack, and Ravina going to keep it alive. 10 seconds on the clock. Are we going to see our first overtime of the stream today? Oh, the ball is awkward. It's in. It's off the post, and it's still alive. If it hits the floor, we have overtime, and no, for sure keeps it alive. They're going to try and score this goal. Oh my goodness me. Surely if your Sammie Smiles just let it hit the floor, we have overtime.
Now we do, and it's in this critical game 3 as well. Sammie Smiles, they have to score a goal. No other option on the table for them. Otherwise, this series comes to a grinding halt.
It certainly does. And just how quickly is this overtime going to last? I mean, in the qualifiers themselves, we had an 8.5-minute overtime segment. I don't think either team will want that right now, and Emmy is going to guide us all the way through and scores in 25 seconds. It's another 2-1 for Cobras.
Yeah, and it's just an excellent dribble here from Emmy. Gets the flick over top, through and in. And that is the Queen Cobras taking it in 3. And what a performance from both teams, but just the tenacity on the side of the Queen Cobras to not give up a single game and keep it in.
You gotta give them massive amounts of credit, and even though Sammie Smiles lost, and they'll feel quite bad about losing yet another set, again, they've came out and showed us all that they can absolutely fight with the best of them. I mean, with the exception of that second match, and even then, towards the end of that second match, they were still rallying behind and scoring goals, and the first and third matches, they certainly showed that desire, that never give up attitude. It took Cobras to the overtime, having to hang on for another 50 seconds, and it just came up short. Just a couple of moments where you just thought if the goal went in, it would have changed everything. But I think Sammie Smiles can still be happy with that performance. They did everything they could.
Yeah, I mean, Sammie Smiles, they looked really solid. They had everything sort of going for them, and you know, even though they weren't able to come away with a victory here, there's a lot of really positives to take out of this game, chief of which being that they kept it in 2 games really, really close against a Queen Cobra team that has been just absolutely dominant throughout this season.
Exactly. And with that being said, I think we are ready to have our second break of the stream. And when we come back, we'll be speaking to one of the winners from Queen Cobras. So do not go anywhere, my friends. We'll see you in a bit.
And this game is being replayed. Vix had a glitch on her client where she was unable to see the car of Emmy. And so due to that glitch where she was unable to see the car of Emmy, we are going to be replaying this game. Both teams mutually agreed to it. And so, yeah, so now we're going to be off with it.
Yeah, it's always nice when both the teams are just like, you know what, yeah, we absolutely don't mind. And especially if it gives Sammie Smiles another chance to show what they're made of and maybe even take a point away from Cobras in the end. So we'll see what happens as the first minute ticks on down. Emmy going for the rebound off the backboard, but not going to happen on this occasion.
Oh, and that's a great touch from Ravina. 1-0 early on here as the Queen Cobra is going to be taking the lead in this game 3, just scooping it up off of there. It was a bit of a double commit from Sammie Smiles and takes advantage of it.
Yeah, they went for the double commit because I think they got 2 demos in there, which is why they both just went for it. And I don't think they were expecting Ravina to come at them the way they did. So 1-0 lead to the Cobras as Emmy immediately goes for the challenge. Ravina not going to quite get the touch they were looking for sure. Is going to at least get the follow-up of their own. Where's this ball going to land? Not in the goal of that, there's no doubt, but Ravina keeps the pressure alive. This is going to be for Vix to clear it. Emmy gets the touch, sends it into the corner.
Going to be another good clear. Oh, out in the midfield, but it could become straight back down. Vix is there. A block coming through from Emmy. Ravina again trying to clear it away. The follow-up was on target as well. Forces Future to jump up off the line. Another one off the woodwork. My goodness, 3 opportunities in a row for Sammie Smiles, but just coming slightly short of finding that equalizer.
It's like every single time Cobras think, okay, we got it saved, they're immediately back in for another shot on goal. And this is Sammie Smiles operating with a pretty much do-or-die attitude. They know they've got to win this, otherwise it's all said and done. Chloe isn't going to quite get the height that they need, and that ball's going dangerously close. Vix hits it off the crossbar, and thankfully Layla does come in for the double save.
Was another good passing play into the midfield there. Demo coming through, but Layla going to boom that all the way downfield. She was looking for the demo on Ravina, but now Ravina with possession. Going to pass it off to Future. Back down this left side again. Ravina with a good 50, but Layla now back on top. They doubled up a little bit here in this corner, but an opportunity opening up for Vix. Future coming out of the goal to get that clear.
They were upside down in the goal, and it was a good place to be. They were right on cue for it. Emmy thinks about just staying on the wall, manages to take it up into the blue half. Vix gets a little touch, but it's set up for Emmy. Chloe and for sure both go for that ball, but I think Chloe just about got there first. But this ball is still very much in a dangerous situation for Sammie Smiles, and that demo is not going to help him.
We're going to see this change possession again. Physical play coming from both sides right now. As the bumps and demos really proving to be a critical factor in this game with opening up space. Only 1:43 to go. It's a close game, 1-0 in favor of Queen Cobras. But again, Queen Cobras on a 2-0 advantage in the series. So Sammie Smiles really has to try and find anything they can to get this game back level and either push it overtime or take it before overtime.
Exactly, and Layla is going to try and keep this alive. Ravina knows they have to double back here because this ball is getting a little dangerously close. Still in that corner. Emmy will try and pop this out into either Ravina or for sure. Emmy's going to keep this alive, goes for the goal, but Layla is going to make sure they can't go any further than that. And Layla, that's a shot on target for sure, and there is no way that's going to get there in time. It's a tie.
And just a beautiful shot. Understanding the space that was available, sending it all the way downfield, and with 66 seconds to go, we've got a tie game between these two teams, and we're continuing the trend from game one where they are keeping it close here.
They certainly are. All that demo in the goal is not going to help them. They've got to try and clear that and do so into the corner with 55 seconds on the clock. Ironically enough, it was the other way around. Normally it was Sammie Smiles taking the lead and Cobras getting the equalizer. Now it's the other way around, and Sammie Smiles are the one who are trying to push for that second goal.
Time ticking away here. Future, oh, good midfield pass, but Emmy a bit too far away to be able to accurately respond. Ravina now taking it around. Going to drop back into this left corner where Layla will scoop it up. Emmy finding the touch to reverse his field again. Good touch from Chloe, sends it downfield. This could set up an opportunity. It's right there in front. Chloe almost able to connect in. It's a follow-up from Layla. Future clears it away. And a close one there. Surely a goal would have sent them into the victory for this game.
Yeah, Cobras are just hanging on for dear life at this point. I never thought I'd be saying that about the Cobras. With 4 seconds left on the clock, Ravina's going to try and get a last second goal, but it's not going to go any further than that. Hey, guess what? It's overtime again.
And that it is. On the reset, indeed, and we'll see if it ends in 25 seconds. Either way, we've got possession right now for Queen Cobras. Ravina, what a shot, but it somehow gets saved by Layla.
Layla somehow managed to tip it onto the crossbar. Of all places it could have gone, somehow it goes the right way for Sammie Smiles and keeps this alive. And Chloe goes for the initiative. Layla's there, but not in the right place. For sure, gonna send it right downfield, We're past the 30-second mark, so it's already lasted a little bit longer. But Vix with a fairly long shot. That is dangerous off the back wall. Is anyone going to come up with the follow-up? They are, but it's just wide again.
Well, it's a soft touch by Fuser. Emmy still on top. They're finally able to get rotated back around. The Queen Cobras are. And that's a good touch from Ravina. Straight into Layla, however. It's dropped into this left corner. She tries to find the pass. It's straight to Vix. Backboard play is available. It's straight down, and now Ravina's got it on top of her car. Space to work with. Beats to open net, and Ravina will send the goal through and clear out the 3-0 sweep against Sammie Smiles.
Ravina doing exactly what she did in the first match, if you remember how she scored that solo play goal. It was pretty much the exact same. Dribbles it clean around Sammie Smiles, and I cannot believe it's still the same outcome in the third match. 2-1 in overtime in the favor of Cobras. But look at how much better Sammie Smiles were at this match. Look at the amount of shots the three of them had.
Yeah, just absolutely insane from both sides, and it was such a close game. We see in overtime again, even in the replay of this match. But in the end, Queen Cobra is able to make it happen. Ravina, such solid solo plays coming from her all series, and it's a solo flick over the final two defenders to set up a double touch to send it through. And just overall, what a fantastic series from both of these excellent teams.
Exactly, and to have that match replayed in the way it was shows that both of them have that, you know, that good deal of friendship and sportsmanship to go, okay, you had an issue, we'll happily do that again. And for the result to be the same, albeit very differently played out. Sammie Smiles was so much more aggressive in that match than the previous one. And, you know, they took Cobras to the wire, and, you know, I think they both come away with this with a lot to be proud of, I think. It was a great set from start to finish. I think with that, we are going to now queue up for the actual winners interview now with a player from Queen Cobras. I do believe that will be sending us into a break now. So don't go away, my friends. We are going to be following up with an interview this time. See you in a bit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Women's Carball Championship. I am Hunted here with Ravina from the successful Queen Cobras. And, you know, I'm kind of getting tired of saying that. Can you guys just drop a game once so we can have some other team come on, please?
I'm sorry, Hunted.
It's okay. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
But, I mean, so a 3-0 series for you all this week. I'm sure that you've got to be feeling good, especially with that nice little game winner there in overtime in Game 3.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody... Well, I was colloquially known as a ones main back in the day. And I think that title has some benefits to it, I suppose. Especially in a 3v3 environment. Whenever I have that space, I'll find that dribble if I can. I think I've had a few dribbles in the tournaments and last tournament, so yeah, always love to dribble.
Well, it certainly looked like you all were comfortable out there. I think it's really shown that your team has come together as a squad throughout the season. I mean, we're kind of at the halfway point. Of course, there was some changes from last season into this one, and I mean, how has it been playing with Fuchsia and everything like that? How has that fit into the team? Is that chemistry still there? You guys working well together still?
Yeah, it's wonderful. We were all just laughing when Fuchsia hit that pre-flip. We were all screaming. That was hilarious. Yeah, we're always laughing the entire time. There's not really much communication going on. We're just kind of having fun. Before each match, we just tell each other, have fun, don't worry about it. Make sure we're coming out with smiles on our faces, whether we win or we lose. And we were successful at that today. We definitely left smiles on our faces, very happy, had a great time.
Well, it certainly seemed like you all were having fun on the pitch today, and you know, like we've mentioned, this is kind of the halfway point of season number 2. You remain undefeated here after week 4, moving to 4-0. But you take a look at the schedule upcoming, things start to ramp up towards the end here for you all. You've got Sway Frost next week. You have the Sakura Blues the following week. And then to wrap things up, the Venus Vixens. So a pretty tough schedule to round things out. Are you confident heading into kind of the latter half of the season here?
Confident that we will win? I don't know. Confident we have fun? Yes, always. And that's what we're here to have. And so definitely not feeling worried about it in that sense. We're just, as I said, just looking to have fun, have a good time. And yeah, definitely think we're going to with those matches. And it'll be interesting to play against my teammates of old, who have now split into two separate teams. Not over some bitter rivalry, but just for that former camaraderie that we shared previously.
Sure, for the fun. I mean, of course, that is. I mean, you mentioned it. Winning is part of it, and everybody is here wanting to compete and win. But at the end of the day, we're all here to have a good time, enjoy ourselves, and I think I'm getting I'm running out of questions to ask you because I have to talk to you every week, right? This is like kind of a normal thing that you and I have to do now.
I'll try to get Emmy next time.
Yeah, okay. Well, I want to give you the floor. Is there anything you'd like to say to your tons of fans in Twitch chat right now?
Top Gun is my queen.
There you go.
Alexa Sad's in chat. Just hope everyone's having a good time. I don't know. Just yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the support. You're all amazing, and make sure to support everybody. And yeah, I know I'm just blabbing. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, we thank you again so much for coming on, and congratulations on the victory. Make sure that you all are here for the Queen Cobras matchup next week. They are the second match, I believe, that might change. I'm not sure, but they will be facing off against Sway Frost. Sure to be a good one. But again, we thank you so very much, Ravina, for coming on. Congratulations once again on the victory. But everybody watching in chat, that was our first of 4 today. Make sure you keep it here. We'll be back in a minute to bring you the Venus Vixens and Not Vanilla.